All right, count us in.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to another episode of Necro Electric.
Number 3.
I'm your host, Sean Skellington. I am the mayor of this macabre. Next to me, I've got our beautiful music video vixen here, my wife, Kylie Skellington.
Hey, everyone.
And we got the magician of the mixer over here, the fiery Susanna Lopez.
No sound magician.
What's our theme of the day?
Today, it is all about music.
Music. It's my fucking life.
Música.
Yeah. All right. If we're going to do music, I want to start it off with the story of the most disgusting fucking concert I've ever been to.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right. It's fucking
Let's
gross.
hear it.
All right. So when I was in high school, I went to go see the Deftones. I grew up in California, but I went
Don't
to...
involve the Deftones in this.
I'm involving them.
That's my favorite.
They were there. I went to high school in Reno. So when they rolled into town with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I went to go see them at the Reno Livestock Event Center.
Yeah. That is such an odd combination, first of all. Deftones and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. I think Disturbed actually opened the show, too.
That's odd, too.
It's kind of a weird show.
That's probably the one band I don't like.
Yeah. But anyways, we were there and the concert was super dope. And then Chili Peppers came on, and I like them. They're all right, you know. They're like chill music to me, you know.
Yeah.
And back then, like at Red Hot Chili Peppers concerts, people used to like take their shirts off and like whip them around over their heads, like during certain songs and shit. Right? That was like the thing. Well, fucking Anthony Kiedis, who's the singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like came out and was like, he's like, how many ladies are here tonight, right? And everybody's like, whoa,
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
And then fucking he's like, all right, he's like, instead of whipping your fucking shirts around, he's like, how many of you guys are menstruating right now?
Come again?
And, exactly. I was like, we're like,
say that?
what the fuck, you know? And then, you know, and a bunch of them are like yelling, right? And we're like, oh, that was fucking weird, right? And then he's like, pull your fucking bloody tampons out and fucking whip them around and fucking throw them on stage, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you know, like in Game of Thrones or like any fucking medieval like fucking movie, like all the archers like fucking, or like 300, you know?
Yeah.
Like all the archers fucking lean back and then they fucking
Arrows.
black out the sun. That's what it was, dude. Just a
Ew.
fucking giant fucking air
Bloody
bomb.
tampons.
Blood bombs, dude.
Crazy. Did you get
Yeah.
hit with one?
No, I didn't, but they were... No, I didn't. They were everywhere, though. They were everywhere.
It's like,
Yeah, it was gross, dude.
Kidding.
It was super, super fucking gross. You know? And I know it's like, oh, it's natural or whatever. No, fuck that, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying menstruating is gross. I'm saying taking out your dirty tampon and throwing it at people is gross.
I throw it at some bitch though. Like if somebody was talking shit, I'd be like, fuck you.
That's how you fight?
Like
The street fight?
It's like a monkey throwing their shit. You know,
Yeah.
that's how they fight.
Yeah, I guess so.
In Animal World, I throw my fucking tampon at
That's some fucking new age UFC shit.
Quick, I need another one.
Susanna's living in 2030, dude.
Girls, they ain't gonna let me in nowhere.
Oh, man. Have you guys had what's like the weirdest or like interesting concert you guys have ever been to?
There's this Mexican rock concert that I went to a long time ago. And it was just crazy because there was 3 different type of mosh pits. And
okay.
I almost died.
With, like the Wall of Death, the Circle Pit, and like
Men,
hardcore.
women, mixed. Yeah, the men's was so hardcore. I was like, people were punching people and just, shit gets out of hand. I was like, I gotta get out of here. But yeah, I made it out okay because my friend pulled me out, but I ended up getting stepped on and, harassed, touched and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Start freaking out. My mom doesn't know I'm here. Kind of shit. But yeah, that was pretty gnarly and I'll never do it again.
Mexican rock bands are weird. Like when not that they're weird, but when I went to like Puerto Vallarta when I was younger, like I remember, I don't know if it's a thing or not, like, or how it works, but you would listen to the radio and there was all these other bands playing like other bands' songs.
Cover songs?
Yeah, like cover songs,
yeah.
but it was like but the radio was all cover songs. You know what I mean? Like that I was hearing. Like it was like people playing Metallica, fucking whatever, dude.
Like their local bands playing cover songs.
But it was on the radio.
Weird.
So I was like, I wonder if they just fucking cover them and.
It's probably for all the tourists.
Maybe, right?
Maybe.
Like let's please the tourists. Like, I don't know.
But yeah, it was cool.
I had a crazy concert.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
And it had to do with Deftones too.
Uh-oh.
Deftones.
Yeah, but Deftones the best band ever. Sorry, love them. Yeah. So, anyways, I went to Candlestick Park for Summer Sanitarium. I think it was like 2000 or something.
I was there.
Yeah, actually, he was there.
San
We didn't
Francisco.
know each other.
Nice.
But yeah, I was underage, so.
I was barely over age.
Yeah, so we're there, and it's an outdoor event, and it's like Metallica, Deftones, Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, oddly
Man,
enough.
that's pretty
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool concert. But I'm like, Deftones are coming on. I have to get down there on the floor. I mean, it's like insanely crowded, but I have to get down there. So I go down there, and I'm like this little teenage girl. People are kind of like letting me through, you know? Yeah. So I get to the middle with my friend Christine. Deftones come on. They're on for like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's getting really hot down here because I'm 5'1".
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else around me is like very tall.
Well, and they fucking smash you like.
Oh, yeah, and you're packed like sardines.
Yeah.
You can't even move.
The closer you get up.
And I'm like, it's getting really hot down here. Like, I'm like trying to stand on my tippy toes and get some air.
Aww.
And then I start feeling faint. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. This is bad. And then just like that, I blacked out. I could hear everything, but I couldn't move my body and I couldn't see.
Damn.
But it was also crazy. It was almost like an outer body experience because it had like just started raining. Deftones were playing Minerva, which is like one of my favorites. And I'm just like listening to this music, not able to move or see, but like enjoying every minute of it. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
Euphoric and shit.
Your friend Christine saw you?
Yeah, actually, her uncle had gone with us and was luckily near us. He grabbed me and like pulled me up on his shoulders, and I like a couple minutes later, I was okay, but it was just crazy.
Yeah, mosh pits and concerts in general just get fucking dangerous at some points.
Fuck yeah.
You know, especially like with me. Like my whole life I've been playing heavy metal, punk rock, hardcore, you know, and shit just gets like the heavier the music, the more extreme the music, the fucking more dangerous that fucking pit is.
People.
Even as a band member, because you know obviously I shattered my leg at a show. I've been in tons of fucking mosh pit fights with people. You know, it's fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I was actually a culprit of a lot of the stuff too at our shows. I used to do this thing. I thought it was stupid, but I thought it was artistic. I used to go to Salvation Armies and I'd buy Beethoven records.
Oh.
And then I thought it was like artsy to go on stage, and then I'd break the records like on stage.
That's pretty cool.
You know,
Yeah,
I'd be like, because we were playing like extreme shit and hardcore music, and then I'd throw the broken records. But I got in trouble because the kids started picking the records up and cutting each other. With the records and shit.
The broken records.
Gory shit.
Rise of the Underdogs Festival in San Jose. I think it was like...
Not smart.
Yeah, I got busted.
Fucking kids. God damn it.
Had to ruin it for everyone.
It was tight, though.
What I want to know is, when you crowd surf, do men get groped like women do?
Yeah, do
No.
they? No.
I crowd surfed once, and I will never do it again.
I've crowd surfed a ton of times. You'll get, like, if you're wearing a beanie, or sometimes your shoes will get fucking taken off. That's
They'll
annoying.
steal your shoes.
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah. I used to not have a wallet when I'd go on stage and stuff.
I got my chain
if you dive into the crowd or the pit, people fucking, they'll try to just take some shit off of you. But we don't get like, if you're, Brad Pitt jumping in that bitch, like maybe a chick will try to grab your fucking junk
babe, I'm
or
grabbing
something.
that junk.
I just mean like a regular guy crowd surfing, like a fan, not even like someone
nobody
in the
gives
band.
a shit. But girls, like girls get fingered and tits grabbed and hair pulled. That's all
twists.
bad. But I've seen a lot of dudes come to like the defense of chicks too. Like if some creeps going like too far,
Yeah,
that shit happens. I punched
and
a
sometimes
girl.
it's an accident. If you dive off the stage, sometimes people just put their hands up, if your tits land in the hands, it is what
that's
it is.
different.
But there's guys that
you can legit know when someone's like groping versus trying to
help you,
protect themselves from you falling on them.
Help you or help themselves.
It's just fucking creepy anyways. Like,
I
don't know what satisfaction you'd get out of like just grabbing a tit like real quick, but
I know, and it's like so fast. Like, how do you even enjoy it? Like,
whatever.
I'm not a groper. I don't know.
Have I ever groped anybody? No.
No?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I grope him all the time.
I mean, my husband, it's like free. Like,
doesn't count though, right?
I laugh so hard when I slap a little butt and he's like, stop. I'm like,
She loves it like around the house, but if I do that shit at Walmart or something, she has a different attitude about it.
Yeah. I don't want people seeing that.
But I do it
awkward.
like it's like motor skills for me. Like when she walks by, I'm like, right on her cheeks, you know. And then she walks by Walmart, I'm like,
it's just automatic
like,
for him. He's like.
My husband reacts the same way, but I like to put my hand in his pocket, like if we're walking together.
Oh yeah.
Like if I'm that comfortable, and he's like, stop. I'm like, yeah, it's nice. Like, stop. I'm like, all right, I get it. Sorry, back to the music.
Oh, well, speaking of groping, what about, do you listen to music when you get it on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, not all the time, but yes.
Yeah. Like, what's a good getting you in the mood?
Hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, you like heavier stuff?
Yeah, like heavy stuff. Like if you're at a concert.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the. It's just kind of like nobody can hear me
getting down
scream.
to some Cannibal Corpse.
She's having it rough.
Sometimes it's like that, or it does depend on the mood though. Like if trying to be romantic, and it's like some soft stuff.
Yeah.
But mostly it's always been like some loud music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you can guess as we listen to. She likes to get down to Deftones.
I love Deftones.
Yeah.
Tool. She likes Tool.
Yeah,
Stuff like
definitely.
that. Like heavy, but kind of like artsy or
cleaning around the house and then oops.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, if I'm playing Deftones and he comes in the room, he knows what's going down.
Nice.
Yeah, music's so weird. It's like the one thing that'll like define friendships and just like can just change your mood. You know what I mean? That's what I love about music. It's like my best friends like that I've had since I was kids. We all started with like, what kind of music do you listen to? Like you into White Zombie? Like you like Pantera? You know, shit like that. You know, and then like the kids would be like, oh, I like Garth Brooks. Be like, fuck you, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
you know?
I love Garth Brooks. Okay, I'm actually going to defend Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to country and Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, George Strait, Alan Jackson. Love me all that. But new country I cannot listen to.
Yeah, it's new country I don't really like that.
I stopped at Keith Urban. That was it.
She says that shit, but anytime any country comes on,
those are old songs.
We're like at a bar or something.
Those are old songs.
The classics.
She's like, oh, I'm like, do you used to listen to this stuff? And she's like, no. And then it starts like playing, and then she like knows all the words. I'm like, I think you catfish me with the country music.
Like, whoo.
I do. I love it. I love the old country.
I do like it too.
Her family gets down on that shit too.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
It's
I grew up with it. Yeah, I grew up with it.
Doing their little dances.
Now you're in Texas, baby. Go
in
Texas,
you got to get used to it.
Honky tonkin.
You
gotta go to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
2-step, 4-step.
I know. I gotta learn how to line dance.
Yeah, it's
I did at one point. I don't really remember. I'm sure it would come back to me though.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to do all that like temporarily, but then we always go back to like what we're listening to at home. You know, it's like rock music and stuff.
Yeah.
One time I was on tour and like talking about like sex and music, and we left it up to I think it was my bass player to book the hotel when we played in LA. And he booked us at like the shittiest, cheapest like hooker motel.
Oh, you're on tour. You guys don't buy fancy hotels.
Yeah, right? But it would have been anything would have been better than this place.
Oh no.
And like we got in late and we had like, you know, our trucks with all of our gear. And everybody was like drinking beer and stuff like in the back the whole time. And we pull up and he gets our room and then we start to load into our room. and this Asian lady comes out that was like managing the hotel, and she's like, no porno, no porno, no porno, and we're
just a bunch of dudes unloading gear.
Because she just saw the equipment, so she thought, and it's like LA, so she thought like we were just bringing in the whole crew or whatever.
Oh my God.
And her English was like really broken, and so she couldn't communicate well either. And then I'm like, yo, like, and I was trying to be nice. I'm like, we play guitars and shit, right? We're not no pornos. We're not no pornos, no dicks, right? No dicks. She's like, no porno, no porno, no porno. And my bass player. Did they let
you stay?
Yeah, well, the thing that happened, and I thought it was gonna go bad, but my bass player had been drinking like all day, and then he came over and he pulled his, because he had been listening to like me argue with his chick for like forever, and he was all drunk, so he pulls his belt out and then he just starts whipping his fucking belt onto the ground. like not like to hit her, but just whipping it on the fucking ground, right? And she was like, what the fuck?
That is so weird.
And then I'd be like, what the fuck too?
Yeah, she just turned around and fucking went back into the office, and I was like,
weird.
Well, either the cops are gonna come or they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't, so.
She's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get my money.
Apparently she got the message. Yeah.
Weird. Such a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
He's like, slap this floor so hard,
maybe
lady.
if I smack my belt hard enough, she'll leave.
Well, we were just like on a loop. She just kept repeating the same shit. I kept yelling. I just kept repeating it just louder every time, you know? It was fucking weird, but it was good times.
It's funny.
Did you guys, did your parents ever, like, use music against you? Like, break your CDs as punishment or any of that kind of shit?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
I remember just once I was cleaning my room and I was blasting Ja Rule. This was like middle school, okay?
That's my
when Ja Rule and Ashanti were like the thing, you know?
Baby.
And so I was blasting his CD. My dad storms into the room. He's like, I don't want you listening to this shit. Breaks it and walks out.
Oh, shit.
Which, you know, it was... I can't blame him, honestly. I wouldn't want Bane listening to it either, so...
And my grandfather, he didn't like punk rock. Like I used to listen to the Sex Pistols when I was like 12 all the fucking time. Yeah. I'd be like, "Fuck your authority and fucking fuck this and fuck your establishment." You know,
12-year-old. Go to bed, son.
I go around just kicking shit like in my fucking room, you know. And then he'd come in, fuck this, you know, and snap my shit, dude.
I don't think my mom ever broke nothing. Or my dad came in one time and just turned off the stereo, and then we're all like, "Oh," and he's like, "That's it." I'm like, like he was always quiet. Like he was like quiet. That's how he disciplined. Like you don't want to get that mad. You know, he was that scary type. Yeah. And we're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like, okay, everyone quiet.
Yeah.
Hush.
He didn't have to say a thing. We just knew. We're like, oh okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like everybody had like their CD books and shit. Yeah. And then I'd have a bunch of friends where like their parents would like just take their whole fucking CD book and shit.
Oh man. So I had the CD book filled with just all my favorite bands at the time. I mean, the entire book was filled. It was like 100 CDs or something. Yeah. And I went on a trip to Tahoe with my mom and my aunts and my cousins. I left it there, and someone else had rented out the cabin after us.
Oh, shit.
And they took it. I never got it back. After that, I don't think I bought many CDs. I was so upset.
That totally reminds me. When I was in high school, right before I moved out, I think I was like 17, I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was my car, right? And I was living in Reno, and it freezes in the desert at night. And being from California, like, and being broke and shit, I would put water in my radiator, not antifreeze.
Oh, damn.
And one morning, like, I fired it up, and like my fucking radiator broke or whatever. And then I was leaving to go play shows like in California, so I just left my car, right? And then my mom ended up selling my car
while you were gone.
Yeah, and I was like very upset or whatever, and my CDs were in the trunk of the fucking thing. My whole CD case, plus like my stereo system and everything, right? So, but I knew where the guy was that bought it. So I was like, he lived in my neighborhood. So I went over there and I knocked on the door, and it was like a dad had bought it for his son. And I was like, hey man, my mom sold my car. I need my CDs back. and he's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about your CDs." And I'm like,
bullshit.
I'm like, dude, I'm already fucking raging about my fucking car situation. I'm looking past it. Give me my fucking CD books, you know? And he was like, "Oh, you know, I can't help you." And he goes to shut the door. And then I go, "Okay, well, I'm going to go get a brick. And as soon as it's dark, I'm going to throw it through your fucking window, dude." You know? And then when you replace it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again. And you could call the cops and they can come and they can try to arrest me. And you could try to prove that it's me doing it. But I'm going to keep fucking doing it unless my CD books come out.
Yeah.
And then he said, door opened up. He said, "Hold on a minute." And he shut the door. And then he came back and he gave me my CD.
Oh, that
Boom.
Yep,
Good job.
That was my CD book. Fucking
Nice. CDs were expensive.
They were like $20 a piece or something, or some $30, depending on whatever.
And then you get those friends that are like, "Let me borrow it just for like a day or two."
Yeah,
and
you
then,
never get it back.
And then you go back and then they're like, "Oh, I never borrowed that one." You know?
You ever bought a CD just for like one song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Fuck, the whole shit sucks."
Well, you kind
except
of
for the
had
song.
to, because like you never got to really preview the CD. You'd buy it because you heard like 2 or 3 singles,
Or like the artwork was dope.
and then it's just a gamble if the rest of it's good.
But
damn it!
I miss those days because like I feel like now, since music is just disposable and free, that it's not like fan worthy. You know what I mean? Like when you were a kid and you had to buy the music, like. I remember I was a big fan of Machine Head. They're from San Jose.
I don't think I heard of them.
Yeah, well, they were like, they're still around, but they're a heavy fucking band. And I remember it was like their 3rd album. It's called like The Burning Red or something, right? And they were like straight up like aggressive metal fucking like. They had a song called like Let Freedom, or it's called Dividend. Let Freedom Ring with the shotgun blast and shit. It was fucking massive.
Darn.
But they came out with this album called The Burning Red or something, The Red.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like rapping in it and like doing all kinds of like weak ass shit. No.
experimental.
It was like weak ass shit,
nice.
right? But I had saved up to buy it.
Oh, damn,
Right?
yeah.
So I dropped that 20 when I was a kid and I didn't even have 20, you know? It took me a while to get that. And when you had to spend the money to buy that record, you fucking listen to it anyways.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? Like maybe if I listen to this like 30 more times, it'll grow on
like
me.
it.
Yeah.
Where nowadays, like the second you hear something at all you don't like, you're like, nah, fuck this, fuck this.
Yeah, kids will never know. Kids will never know. Oh well.
I actually listened to tapes. Maybe I'm dating myself, but when I was
the
really young, I
cassettes, right?
remember cassette tapes.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Or
All the way.
the Walkmans that we had with our CDs that would always skip.
Actually, it was
on
the
the bus?
opposite.
Worse.
Are you talking about Discman?
Discman.
Yeah, Discman's fucking
yeah.
sucked.
Discman. Oh.
A Walkman was dope because I used to skateboard.
Walkman is
yeah.
cassette,
Yeah, it's
right?
cassette.
Yeah,
Right,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
those
Yeah.
were good.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause you-
Discman.
Yeah,
Sucked.
sucked
Go
ass.
But I still had
itself.
stickers on mine.
But it was so
Yeah.
cool because you could change the songs.
Yeah.
Like in the Walkman, it was dope. I would just press play, put it in my backpack, and run my headphones.
Yeah.
And I could go skate, do whatever I want,
Yeah.
fall on the ground. It wouldn't even stop. You know?
Yeah.
But then the disc came out, and a Walkman took like 2 batteries, and a Discman took like 6, and it would eat the fucker up like by the time the album was done. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, damn, this sucks. And,
Man, I
and all the
remember
skipping
having
and
those.
shit.
It was fun. Like, yeah, it would skip and bump and mess up on the bus home from school, and then like sometimes if the string from the headphones was too long and it get caught on shit.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it! Those were the days.
Yeah.
Cheap ass headphones. I was getting my chest tattooed,
Nice.
and I had my headphones on. She went to the store to pick me up a pair.
Yeah.
And because I had forgot mine, and then like it just got caught slightly on the fucking chair, and it just pulled right out of the speaker.
Yeah.
Fucking died.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it, dude.
Well, they were like $3 headphones from the
Yeah.
gas station. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You know what else is weird is how people blame what people do on music.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Like-
like school shootings and
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
shit
like
like
that
that.
influenced
Like
my child
they're a bad
or that
person, or they grew up
okay.
Or-
to be this way
yeah,
because
like-
they
like if somebody
listened
does
to
some-
goth rock. And,
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
like
Okay.
like the trench coat mafia, like way back in the day, Columbine shit, you know? They all blame Marilyn Manson for everything.
Oh, okay, yeah. And not even that too, like people, if you're driving by somewhere, maybe they drive by your house and you're listening to your music, they label you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, avoid those people because blah, 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 such and such. Like, they don't fucking know you, like, at all. And then they're like, you know, maybe you're just in that moment or...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think with, like, any media, and I know people have a different opinion on it, but I feel like music's just a soundtrack to your life. Movies are just entertainment, you know what I mean? If you're a sick fuck and you're going to do something sick, you're going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. It actually makes it a little sicker if the music is like happy and there's like,
oh my god,
you know, like the horror
music.
movies where people are like killing people, but the music's like all happy.
Yeah.
That's creepier.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's creepier, honestly.
Yeah.
Dude, like when you're saying stuff like that, who was it? Oh, Rihanna. Rihanna tweeted that Trump stopped playing her music. Like he was like at a rally or something, and they played her song, and she was so like, no, don't listen to my music, don't play it.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with you, you know, kind of thing. I would understand like if you're like a big artist like that, I guess, and you know, start hoping that certain political figures or people that are like dragging your name through the dirt, I guess.
Your music's being used for something you don't support.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, once it's out there, you can't. What does it matter?
Yeah,
like,
true.
I don't know. It's money, I guess.
I mean, how do you think Marilyn Manson felt when everyone was saying it was because of him?
Yeah.
Well, he went out and did extensive interviews, like debunking all that shit. You know.
I guess it makes more work for you.
In a way.
I guess so. It still affects you in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's tons of artists like Alice Cooper, like tons of people have been blamed. Black Sabbath for Iron Maiden for people's like suicides, and Judas Priest I think had a kid commit suicide.
But do you think it does have some influence?
I do.
You do.
For example, I've been seeing a lot more face tattoos on these young dumb kids. because of the rappers, the mumble rappers, and you know.
Well, that's just
69.
Like that's pop culture though. Yeah.
That one too.
Tekashi.
The guy looks crazy. Oh, God.
Well, they're all like, it's weird because like, you know, growing up in our era, like rap was gangster rap or like pop rap.
Yeah.
You know, and then now you got this weird like, it's almost like soft core, like pro rainbow
poppy rap / I don't know.
Well, in the style, I was like, it's not my cup of tea. Like, I used to work with this kid who listens to all that kind of stuff, you know, and it's like, to me, you know, and it could just be me, you know.
Well, you're a singer and you write your own lyrics.
Yeah.
So I know what you're getting at. Like, you
like
don't
the Nicki
all
Minaj stuff where it's like, you're a hoe, you're a hoe, you're a hoe.
It's just repetitive.
But it's really, like, literally, like, one line after another.
I swear I've heard them say, like, they run out of ideas and they just spit out whatever just to finish the album kind of thing.
Yeah, like, he used to listen to this kid named, I think he was, like, Little Peep. And he had a song, it's just like, I wake up, I throw up. I wake up, I throw up.
That's
it was just like,
say the whole time.
You know, you're like, I don't know. I mean, well, you know, so I mean, if people like it, whatever.
And I can get behind some rap. I mean, I was listening to Ja Rule back in the day.
But you would listen to him now, and he's like, no new shit. I'm sorry, Ja Rule.
I mean, I'm not saying like all rap is shit. Like, I listen to some rap that people probably don't like. You know, they're out there, but I love it. Like Mickey Avalon.
Oh, yeah.
And Diane Word.
Is Mickey Avalon really considered rap, though? Yeah,
I think he's a rapper, you know. Okay. I mean, it definitely has, like, rock into it, you know, infused. But I their lyrics are funny or interesting. And, you know, if I feel like if there's some art behind it.
Like Linkin Park. That guy rapped.
And Chester screamed.
That was her crush in high school.
That was my crush growing up, was Mike Shinoda.
I listened to it when I was 14. And like the whole album, that whole first album.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's memorized in my brain every time. Crawling in. I just fucking love it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So they do stuff like that. Like the Deftones, I saw. They for a while, they fused like rap and poppy-ish, but then rap and then heavy, and then like they went, you know, they go back and forth, and I think they're like well-rounded in how they do their thing.
Yeah, they definitely are.
I mean, they've definitely survived. I mean, they've been around since like
88.
Yeah, since 1988.
Born in 88. Best year ever.
And to be a band and to have done it that long and survived all the trends, it's like, it definitely says something.
Yeah.
Sink or float.
Do we have a sponsor?
Yes, we do. Put my glasses on. Dark and Jury Clothing. Dark and Jury is an edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Jury has quickly gained a following amongst fans of occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers, and retailers worldwide without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest, and darkandjuryclothing.com.
Nice. And if you guys want to support our show...
Yeah.
We collaborated with Dark and Dreary, and we have some new fucking t-shirts. Let's see, what else? I wanted to tell you a funny story, too. Concert related, about my friend. His name's Nick Caprioli. He's out there. This is one of my, like, when I lived in Reno, there was a club called the Del Mar. And it was this cool fucking place where all these big bands used to come and play, like Propane, Corrosion of Conformity, like Incubus, fucking System of a Down. Like all these bands used to come and play, like right before they all like blew up. And it was really a cool fucking place. And I remember going and seeing Testament there with my buddy Nick. And like when you talk about like music, like guiding you or changing your mood or doing anything. Everybody was like kind of moshing, and there was like this big heavy pit going, and all of a sudden this guy came out. He was like definitely kind of slow, and we're like, and there's definitely rules in a mosh pit. If you see somebody like that, you don't run into them. Everybody kind of protects those kind of people, And I remember there was a guy getting kind of rough with that guy. And Nick went out there and was kind of blocking the guy from getting hit and doing all this stuff. And then Nick went on the outside of the pit and was just hanging out. And this guy just started like dancing all weird, right? And we're like, all right, like get it, dude.
Get it,
and throw it down, right? And he started just doing it was almost like
raving,
or like you remember like Stone Temple Pilots, like that Scott Weiland like used to do his fucking like weird shit. Yeah, this kid was like doing this in the middle of a fucking Testament concert. They were playing like Along the Watch or something, like some heavy ass fucking song, and just chaos was going around, and this dude was just in his own fucking world. And then he just kind of creeped over to Nick and was doing his thing, and we're just like watching, and me and him kept looking at each other like, oh, this guy's fucking weird. And then he just turned around and then full force just popped fucking Nick right in the fucking mouth.
He did not.
Yeah, right in the fucking mouth.
I protected you.
Oh my god, I'd be so pissed.
And Nick was my bass player for many years, and anytime Nick would ever get injured, he'd make a noise, right? He'd go, every time.
Comic.
And I just remember, the kid just doing this weird thing. He just straight, because Nick had no idea this kid. He was helping the kid. Yeah. He had no defense up because he felt no threat from this guy. And that guy just fucking popped him, and then
the guy's probably like, "This is my chance."
He just fucking got him, dude. What's going on? And then I could see it in Nick's eyes. Nick was just like, "I'm gonna annihilate this guy, dude." And I had to fucking you held him talk back. Just talk him back a little bit, Yeah.
Oh, I would have been so pissed.
I would love to see that in slow mo, replay.
Yeah.
I love you, Nick, dude. He just had a baby.
Yeah, congratulations, Nick and Heather.
Oh,
baby boy.
Me and that dude were inseparable for years. We used to work shitty jobs. We we rented a room and shared the room and fucking carpooled together, played shows all over the place. Yeah. I remember one time we were playing a show in a backyard that had an empty pool.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
There was a mosh pit inside the pool.
Okay, so you weren't playing in the pool.
Yeah, the band was above the pool and everybody was inside the pool.
Gotcha.
But it was awesome, right? Yeah. And then it was backyard home show.
Yeah.
And I remember this dude showed up. I can't remember his name, but he showed up, and I went to middle school with him. And I fucking hated this dude, and we scrapped a couple times, right? And the dude showed up like years later when I was like 20, and I'm like, oh, there's that motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, get him in the pit.
Yeah, and he watched my band play, and then the next band went on, and then Nick was like, oh, I'm gonna go in the fucking mosh pit. I'm like, all right, I'll go with you. And Nick jumped in, and then I jumped in, and then we were kind of moshing around, and then I saw a shadow off of the wall, right? And I thought this dude jumped in. And I thought it was him, and I was like, oh, he's gonna try to fucking get me, dude. And I fucking turned around and I popped him, right? And then but I heard this.
Did he die?
Fuck, it was Nick.
It was Nick, dude. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Poor Nick.
Sorry, dude.
You gotta treat your friends better than that.
Oh, I love that guy, dude. I took a bullet for that guy.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, those were Nick's stories.
I think we're coming up on the end of our show here, guys.
Oh shit, that was quick.
Well,
I know.
damn. Time flies. We're having fun.
Yeah,
We got a second sponsor.
we do.
Yes, we do. The Mod Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie. 5-star rated seller since 2014.
5 stars. 5 years now. I've been doing this business for 5 years now. I can't believe it.
And if you want some sexy shit, go check it out.
Yes. Super sexy.
And actually, if anybody out there wants to sponsor us, whatever, I can't talk. Just go on our website, click the sponsorship thing, fill out what you got. You could be a product, you could be a band, you could just be some fucking dude that's like, hey, put my picture on this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and if we think we're cool, we'll go with it, So hit us up. And let's see. And also our Patreon, if you visit us at Necro Electric Patreon / whatever, blah, blah, blah. We just put out.
Put a link below now.
It's always in the description in our videos. We actually just put out our first Patreon, and we gave a little tour of our warehouse where we got the her workshop and everything else that goes on, the magic behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So be sure to check that out. And I don't know, what else? You guys have anything else you want to plug?
Nah.
Follow me on Instagram, Miss Kylie Skellington.
Yes, and I actually changed my last name on my Instagram.
She's no longer Susanna.
Yeah, she's no longer.
Actually, if you read it in English, I did see that it read that way. But for the people that read it in Spanish, it says Susana.
Yeah.
It's only for the dirty-minded people.
Yeah, I know. Me, the first thing I thought.
Let me change it. So now it's Susana Dos Santos.88 at Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram /Necro Electric. If you want to hear what my band sounds like, it's the last nail in the coffin, everything. We have a new record we're working on called Conduit of the Occult. It'll be coming out later this year.
Nice.
What else? I think
Please
that's it.
don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
We would appreciate that very much.
Leave comments. Let us know.
Leave
what
us
you
comments.
think.
We didn't do the comment section.
Oh, yeah. Let's do
Oh, my
Life in the
goodness.
Comments.
How could we forget?
My bad. My bad. Well, actually, from Instagram, we have a Shipwreck Kelly.
Holy shit.
kid again.
Really, dude?
He replied.
Right.
He said, "Fuck your weak ass leg," and sends a pic of his broken pelvis.
It's broken dick. It's broken pelvis.
He wants to clarify, so it was a broken pelvis.
And I'm sure when he was typing, he was like, "Fuck your broke ass leg." Fucking guy, dude.
Refer to our episode 1 if you want to know what the hell we're talking about with Shipwreck Kelly.
Yeah, we're gonna get that guy out here eventually. I don't know. Otherwise, fuck him in his broke ass pelvis.
All right, our second comment came from YouTube and is from a woman named Missy Diamond.
I know
she
her.
sent us a heart.
Oh,
Yes.
She loved it.
Yeah, she just happens to be my cousin's wife, and I love her very much.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and thanks for we're a new ass podcast, and I noticed a big jump in the comments and some views and stuff. So help us out. Click that subscribe button.
Comment.
Yeah.
And comment
now.
And
what'd you think?
Let's rock it. All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. Mwah.
See you next time.
Bye.